Hello. So I'll be showing you how to use this tool that I created. It's called FUR, and it's basically like Git for your chat and conversations. Like think about you know um, storing, managing, and tracking the conversations that you have with your AI, with ChatGPT, with Gemini, even with your friend, right? Like, and you want to keep like a record of like what you've said or like a health, maybe like diary. Okay, so it is, bear with me, it is not that advanced, but we have managed to make it into a really fun CLI tool for this chat controlling, so to speak. And by we, I mean myself. So I will not be boring and read over like this full documentation here. I'll just like, you know, give you a fun and very user-friendly walkthrough. Okay, so first thing we're gonna need to do is copy paste this command line. We're gonna copy it by clicking there. And now we're gonna open our terminal. Okay. And we're gonna paste it there and enter. It's already installed, so you don't see any terminal magic for me, but you'll probably see a running terminal there. And now after we've installed it, and type FUR, and you'll see this fun little and humble menu of commands. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna need to do now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a project here. I'm gonna make directory. I'm gonna call it legal stuff. Okay. Actually, no, let me create it in the desktop. Yeah. Legal stuff. Okay. Next to the penguin there. This guy. Hey, legal stuff. Hell, we can even like, we'll just like put the penguin inside it, right? Okay. Just for it to be, just to be fun. Okay. So we're gonna have like, if we access now this folder, we'll see that it only has that image of the penguin, right? We will just like, I don't know, I'll just like rename it because penguin. Yeah. Now we just have that image of the penguin. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna create FUR projects here. So we're gonna type FUR and new. Okay. Oh, and I need a name for the first thread. And so a thread is just like a conversation you have. Okay. And we're gonna initialize that conversation. We're gonna call it, it's gonna be on the topic of who took the peanut butter. Peanut butter. Okay. It's gonna be the title of our conversation or thread. So that's what you see. New thread created. It gives you a hash for the thread, and then the title of it that I just stated. Okay, it's for secure reasons. And now, if we type FUR, I will see the menu as we have always. If we type status, we'll see that's that we have the active thread, which is the one that we just created, which is called who took the peanut butter. There's the full hash, and currently we don't have any messages, right? So first thing first, before writing any messages, we're going to define an avatar. You can just write your name here or whichever name you want to be the main avatar, the main person, that you want to store the records for of communication or of chats, right? So in the case that you're the user, just type your name. Okay. We can also create secondary avatars, right? So by that we will need to use the other flag. And secondary avatars, the function that would be basically if we have like an AI agent, like a GPT-5, right? And we want to also store the things that the output that we give our prompts, right? And we want to make sure that we are referring to the right agent. I guess we could write it like that. We can also provide an optional emoji here. Bear with me, it's emoji. It's optional, right? Okay. So we'll just use the robot emoji. And you can see that now we have another avatar, GPT-5, okay, with that emoji, right? And use the same emoji for GPT-4o. And we don't need to have we don't need them to be AI agents. We could even like have Jimmy here, and we don't need to specify the emoji flag, right? So we'll just like create a random emoji for it. And if we wanted to track or check like all the avatars we've created, we just need to type FUR avatar and the flag, the view flag. And you'll see that now we have the Andrew, the two AI agents, and Jimmy, where main points to Andrew. Okay. So we still haven't written anything, right? We have 3 different manifestations of how to track our messages. We have FUR status, which is the most complete, I think. For 3, well, we'll give you like a branch representation, but right now there's nothing. So yeah, let's start and write something. Okay. So we have just to remind you, right, all the avatars here. For jot, if we want to write something and start this conversation, we'll just have to use the command jot, and we use the text flag. I'll say hello. I will not write hello world. Did you take the peanut butter? Okay. And now if you click on status, you'll see that now we have that message. The first message be the one that I just wrote. You can see that I didn't have to write the avatar, the name of the main avatar. It just defaults to the main. So you can see that it just gives that emoji, and which it actually always defaults to the fox because it's FUR. Okay. And then the name of your main username. Okay. So for a second, I'll write second message, which I'll cosplay as Jimmy now. For jot Jimmy, because he's not the main. He's a secondary avatar, right? And now I'll use the text flag and say, no, I did not, oops. Yeah. So now if we type FUR status, we'll see, you'll see now that, it automatically recognized Jimmy because we have defined them. We have put him in the roster before, right? We had, and it even like had its monkey emoji, right? Now, like I said, that this FUR, the conversation, there's 3 different manifestations for the conversation logs. There's the FUR status, which it's a little bit complete, We also have FUR 3, which gives you branch representations of the conversation and where we are right now, right? You can technically have multiple branches that, let's see, like maybe there's a fork on what I wrote, and I want to write something else to Jimmy because I changed my mind. And then there's another branch to that. We can do stuff like that, right? But I'll just keep it simple for this tutorial. So we also have the other manifestation besides status and 3, which is timeline. And timeline is actually very helpful because, well, it has all the timestamps and they're registered with when exactly they were typed in your CLI. When did you actually type them here, right? And they stay with you. So we can just keep going and write as cosplay as myself. Oh yeah, Rubit James. Whoops, what happened? Okay. And yeah, it tells you, it's very helpful because it tells you provide at least a flag, right? Text or file. Yeah, I forgot the text file, the text flag. Okay, so now it's jotted down. So for status, we'll see that we have the full thread here of messages. We also have it in tree, and we also have it in timeline. Right. Okay, I know what's great about timeline is that for any of these, that we can pipe them to actually a file, and now we can open this file, right? And we see the full conversation here. What we can do is we'll do something fun. We'll copy paste it in a chat instance. You see? And yeah, let me to keep writing this thread in the style of the dry courtroom showdown. I'll say no. I want you to cosplay as Jimmy and provide a legal MD to Andrew to defend your case. Okay. And then they'll give us a markdown, right? And it's long and too long. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to copy it. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to create inside our legal stuff folder, we're going to create another folder called documentation. Okay. Or better yet, docs. Okay. And in docs, we're going to write, this is where we're going to house all our markdown files. And the first one will be defense Jimmy.md. Okay. And now I'm going to paste that thing that was written by ChatGPT. Okay. And now if we want to even like look at this full repo that we created, right? We had that log. We piped the full log here as a text file. We also have this defense by Jimmy that you can see it in markdown format. It's nice, right? Okay. And now what we can do is we can keep on the conversation. We'll go back to the root of legal stuff, and we'll see FUR status, right? So you see, if we actually go inside docs and we write FUR status, we will not get anything because we are not at the root. Okay, so we need to go always to the root of where that FUR archive is, which is in legal stuff. Here you can see it's not really, you don't really have to understand it because, like the tool that we have developed is it actually provides the full brain for it, right? It's just kind of like skeleton, right? So what we do now that we're at root again is we're going to continue the conversation. We'll check out the status. We'll check out the timeline in the event, right? And yeah, so I guess it's Jimmy's turn. Git, Git. FUR jot, Jimmy. And I'll write, check out my markdown. Okay. And then we'll also write the file flag here and make reference to that file. A reference to the defense Jimmy file. Okay. So now if we click here now for timeline, we'll see that now it's updated with the last message that was supposedly written by Jimmy. It says, check out my markdown, right? That was the message. But it's also now making reference to the file that is stored somewhere else here, right? In the docs directory. See it? Now, what's interesting about this is that if we use the verbose flag for the timeline command, right? We'll see the full thing. We'll see that not only do we have like the full thread of like messages starting from from the beginning. You take my peanut butter, right? All the way to approve it. Check out my markdown, and now we have like the full markdown here, right? So we can even pipe that full thing as a new file, and then, well, you get the idea, right? We have the full thing. Could even feed it back, right? And I guess with this, you can think about ways to even like store some of the conversations you have with ChatGPT, right? Like maybe you want to save this one, right? We can copy this thing. This commentary by ChatGPT 5 with Monday, actually. It's a wrapper or a layer above ChatGPT. It's an emotional chat, I believe. It's kind of one of my favorites, actually. So what we can do here is we could create a FUR avatar. It's other, right? Monday Monday 5, because I'm using GPT-5 here for this one. Or Monday AI, okay? And yeah, I will just like use a robot emoji also. Yeah. So now once again for avatar. View, right? And there's Monday AI. Now what we can do is we can, well, this full thing wasn't that extensive. So what I will do here is just do FUR jot Monday AI text 10, then just copy the full thing. And then it's jotted down. So now when we open it again, right, with FUR status, it will actually give us a truncated version of the very long message, right? You can see that it says it started with "This is incredible," right? Jimmy went full, and then it truncated it, right? But that's only on status, because if you check out 3, it'll give you something a little bit longer, right? But it will also truncate it. Right? Now, if we read timeline, it'll probably give you the full thing here. You see it? Right? So let's clear it. So you can see that that if we read the timeline, because we wrote it as a text, it gives us the full text. Okay. Right. But the stuff that was provided as a file as preference, it still does not, how do you say it? It does not like completely output it, because it was just a reference, right? The markdown, right? If you want to do the full thing, then what do we do? We do FUR timeline, and we do with verbose, right? And then it will give us everything basically, right? And of course, well, we can pipe this full thing as a message, as a file, as the log text file. Now we have the full thing. You see? Now we can be really meta and give it back to the Monday, to this ChatGPT 5. Right? And then now it's just like become a little bit creative, I guess, you know? So it's basically this, right? So it's crazy, but I bet like you can probably find a lot of applications for this. And I'll just stop the video here. For the next video on this one, if you would like, I will show you how to not only manage one thread, because right now we are just, this full thing is just one thread conversation. One conversation which was called who took the peanut butter. In principle, we can make more, right? So in the next video, I'll probably show you how to manage different threads within the same folder, and how to jump to different threads, to different conversations,